I want to wrap up talking 2024 season here, Stevie. Dale Jarrett on our call earlier today identified what he thinks right now are 4 championship favorites with 5 races to go in the regular season. You got Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney. Those were DJ's 4. And I was a little surprised by that because no William Byron, no Christopher Bell, 2 guys with 3 wins. But like you said, I mean, Bell in particular has been hit and miss. How do you see things here as we 5 races out from the playoffs starting?
So I have a group I believe that has the firepower that if they find it at the right time, they're going to be hard to beat. And it's much the same. I'm going to start with who I think the 2 at the top are, and that's Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson. Now, the advantage for the rest of the field is if they continue to run next to one another, you're only going to have to run probably against one of them because it doesn't seem like they can both make it through the corners and finish. They seem to be running into each other. And I think right behind that, I actually have Bell and Byron. I think that the other 2, I think Bell and Byron have the firepower. Now, has dwindled for both. Byron was on fire early, dwindled in the middle. So, I'm trying to use the whole season to judge this. I do believe Blaney has that ability to step up. So I like that, right? That really gets me to 5. And then I'm not willing to rule Truex out. I do need to see a win. So he has winning speed, but winning speed is not very good. You got to have to win with winning speed. So, he's like, of my 8, he's kind of further down until he can prove me wrong. And I don't really know why that's the way it is. Chase Elliott is unbelievably consistent and I think has winning speed. So they have to figure out, Alan Gustafson has had 697 cup races in his career. So, he knows how to kind of orchestrate this. That's kind of what I'm waiting to see, right? Is who finds it at the right time. What I see when I look at the playoffs, though, is the peripheral. Like Suarez, congratulations, you're in, you won. I haven't seen the firepower to continue, right? Cindric, kind of the same way, right? There are also these teams, no offense, I think Ross Chastain had the best line of the weekend. People are talking about playoffs and points, and he just said not winning with the one team is unacceptable. I loved it. I became a Ross Chastain fan. I said, that's it, exclamation point, write it down. That's what should be on the back door of your trailer as you walk out for battle. So I think what we should be thankful for is I don't think you can pick 4. I think you can narrow it down to probably 8. And I probably am missing some low-hanging fruit. Like Bowman, we'll see where he goes. Ty Gibbs, I think, he's the type of kid, if he wins, he could become scary quick. But and I also would probably put Chris Buescher in there. Like, I don't know, like he kind of comes and goes. But right now, I think it's a, Hendrick Gibbs battle with a Ryan Blaney cherry on top somewhere out there. And that's really what it looks like. I would say that's your 7 or 8 is Blaney and then pick 7, right? And that's kind of what I see currently.
And on the other side of it, you just said Ross Chastain. You had the crash at Pocono. Seems like it's coming down to him, Buescher, Bubba Wallace right now. 3 guys for those last 2 spots. Is Ross Chastain, do you think, in trouble? Is he heading the wrong direction right now?
I think Ross, Ty, Buescher, one of them doesn't make it. I think we have another winner. And I think those 3 are in a points battle if they don't know it yet. And whoever is the least points out of those 3 doesn't make the playoffs. I have Bubba Wallace shocking the world and winning Richmond, Michigan, Daytona. I think he has 3 real shots at it. I think that's what scares me. Now Darlington, I think when we leave Daytona, I think the 16 we leave Daytona with is who we're going to have because Darlington is such a tough challenge. So I know we say we have 5 left. I really think we probably have 4 left. But of the 4, I can make a real case for Bubba at those 3 tracks. You can make really a case for anybody at Daytona. But I do think there's some other options at Michigan. Like, we haven't seen a real crazy Michigan race lately. We haven't really seen a fuel mileage race there, a true fuel mileage race there. So I still think there's enough unknowns between now and the end of the regular season. Not to mention, I'm not ready to throw the towel in on Kyle Busch.
You might be the only one left at this point.
And Olympic break, tire tested at Richmond, dual compound tires. We got options. We got hards. We got softs. We got chaos. The guy hasn't won 19 in a row. I'm not ready to give up yet. He's won 19 in a row. I think he's earned the right to win 20. I think the racing gods will bless him with some sort of good fortune at some point. So I'm not ready to give up on Kyle Busch yet.
Hey, let me say, I don't want to give up on him because I think NASCAR is a better place when Kyle Busch is running well. I think it's better for NASCAR as a whole for Kyle Busch to make the playoffs. I just think, man, this season, it's almost gotten to the point where it's difficult to watch because he's a two-time champion who's just, it's not just the misfortune, but even when there's no misfortune and he's running poorly, he's telling Ricky Stenhouse Jr., I know what it's like to be back here with you now in the middle of the pack. I don't know. It's just, it surprised me like how it's really almost difficult to watch, if that makes sense.
Oh, it is. It is because the fans love it because they love him or hate him. But I think you and I, like, we're pretty impartial. Like, look, was I happy for Alex Bowman? Absolutely. I'd be happy for anyone who's ridden the road, the roller coaster he's ridden for the last couple of years, right? Like I have like Kyle Busch. If he won right now, I'd be happy for Kyle Busch, right? Not because I'm a fan, but because I am a fan of his talent and his resume. I'm like, man, I want to see him win. I can't wait to see Ty Gibbs win because he's earned the right to win a race. He runs up front. I think he's going to win a race. Todd Gilliland, I don't think he's winning speed yet, but he has enough good runs where I'm like, man, I want to see that continue. You like to see guys prosper. You like to see performance because when Kyle Busch wins and Alex Bowman wins and Todd Gilliland runs well, that forces Denny Hamlin to be his best and Larson to be his best. I mean, such is motorsport, right? Like, you want people to be forced to be their best. I'm a huge golf fan, and I hate reduced events. I hate 75 golfers with no cut. Because what 150 golfers did is some guy you've never heard of could have the best 2 days of his life, and he forces the best in the world to remind us that they're the best in the world. When the best in the world go play with one another, I think they all play down to each other's level to get to Saturday. It's almost like they're just there on Thursday and Friday to hang out. So I love that those quote surprise or those breakthrough wins. So we'll see. Now at the same time, I love to see a guy win 5 or 6 races in a year. And I think, it's interesting. We have 4 guys with 3 and 1 guy with 2.
Right.
That's 14 races and 5 names, right? That's a big chunk.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.